pleasant change of scenery. Remember when I said I like to be close to you?
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course.
Unknown vessel. Prepare to submit to...
Wait, this is Captain Young. Please acknowledge. Nice to see you. Been busy risking your ass for total strangers, huh?
Look at all of this. There's something I need to talk to you about. If I can help you with anything. Just say the word. So, I've given everything we've discussed a lot of thought, and I've decided I'd like Aja Mamasa to conduct our marriage ceremony. I knew you'd understand. So, with that settled, I suppose we just keep it a quiet ceremony? Just the two of us? Oh, that's sweet of you to suggest, but I think bringing Sona all the way to Aja's home would be too much anxiety for the poor girl. We need to give her some time. Honestly, no. I respect everyone at Constellation, but this is part of my personal life. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to keep my personal feelings about us separate from Constellation. If anyone else had suggested that, I'd say no. But Hearing it from you, I know in my heart that it's the right thing to do. I'll send her an invite and we'll see if she shows. Anyone else? Or will the three of us with Aja presiding be enough? All right, it's settled then. I'll send a message to Aja asking for her to preside over the ceremony. As soon as you're ready, let's head to Paradiso. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I love you.
It's tough not seeing any action.
There's been rumors of soldiers.
It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process. As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier. And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
I assure you, we'd never harm anyone from the United Colonies without provocation, Commander.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the comm spike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report. That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the comm spike.
Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem? The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
That's the case. Inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the Lock, touched off by Jasper Cricks, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and Mast will authorize an all-out assault.
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk. It's long overdue. All right, I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find. Anything new to report? Let me know if you need anything else.
I'll keep an eye out for hostile life forms. As we were landing, I picked up a message from Aja. She said to meet us at the park overlooking the ocean. Before we go to the ceremony, I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me this is exactly what you want. I just melt when I hear you say things like that to me. I love you, and I'm forever thankful to have someone as amazing as you in my life. Now come on, Aja is waiting for us. But first, we should probably say something to my mother.
It certainly was nice of you to think of me when sending invitations to my daughter's wedding.
It's good to see you too, Mum.
I just wish you would have given me more notice. Or maybe some time to get to know your dear partner. I barely even know his name. Yes, good to meet you too, my dear. If only my daughter had thought to introduce us sooner. We could have built more of a rapport before this big day.
We'll have plenty of time to talk more later, I'm sure, after the ceremony. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mum. I know how this must all seem to you. This was a sudden decision, and we didn't want to waste any more time. We wanted to keep the ceremony small, and involve only the people I care about the most.
Sarah, dear. I hope you know that I am delighted to be here, to see you finally get married. It's been a long time coming, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thank you for coming, Mum. We'll be sure to talk more in a bit. But for now, let's not keep poor Aja waiting.
We're waiting until everyone arrives. It's so lovely to see you, Sarah.
It's wonderful to see you too, Aja. This is the one I told you about.
I've heard a lot about you. All of it good. You're quite a catch.
10 seconds in and already you're embarrassing everyone.
Before we go any further, I just want to make sure that you are right for Sarah. She's quite special, hmm?
Oh, God. Now you're embarrassing me.
That's called love, my dear. You better get used to it. Well, I've seen enough. I can read people the moment I lay eyes on them. And you're going to make Sarah quite happy.
Coming from you, Aja, that means a lot.
Of course, Sarah. You know I always look out for you. Now, are we ready to begin the ceremony? Very well. If everyone's ready, then I'll begin. It's been years since Sarah Morgan and I have spoken. And though it might appear that we've grown apart, I feel that we've become closer friends than ever before. When I received the message with Sarah's intent to marry, and that she wanted me to officiate the ceremony, I was overwhelmed with joy. Not because she had decided to rekindle our friendship, but because she was allowing me to share the happiest moment of her life. I can't imagine a greater honor. And for that, Sarah, I thank you.
I wouldn't have had it any other way, Aja.
Before you present your vows, I'd ask both of you to remember that love is what brought you together today. It is a foundation upon which a structure of trust, faith, and affirmation is built. This structure can be absolutely impenetrable if you both agree to love each other unconditionally, with faith, devotion, and acceptance. And most importantly, to allow yourself to be loved. Remember, there are no other bonds more meaningful than the one you are undertaking today. You should cherish this moment and hold it close to your hearts as a reminder of the love you share. If you both are willing to abide by these words, then you can be assured that your lives will be filled with joy and happiness forever.
That was beautiful, Aja. Thank you.
Did you need a moment, Sarah?
No, I'm fine. But I wanted to say something before you continue. When we stood beside that waterfall in New Atlantis, you told me that I needed to forget the past and focus on what I have right now. I swear, with every fiber of my being, that the past will no longer be an obstacle in my life. And I will honor your words by focusing my affection on the most important thing in my life. You. This is my solemn pledge to you. From deep within my heart, from deep within my soul, for all eternity.
And you? Did you have anything you wanted to say to Sarah?
Thank you. I'm going to hold you to that promise.
You had a gift, Sarah?
Yes. I wanted you to have this as a token of our love. I'm giving this to you as a symbol of the clean break I've made from my past. Oh, it would have been impossible without your help. And for that, I'll be forever grateful.
With these promises of affection and these vows you've exchanged, by the power vested in me by the Articles of Constellation, I happily pronounce you life mates. Congratulations!
Aja, I don't know what to say. That was... oh, amazing. I couldn't imagine having the ceremony without you.
I'm glad everything worked out for you, Sarah. I'm only sorry that we waited so long to reach out and contact one another. You better. Otherwise, I'd have to come out of retirement and hunt you down. Well, you're both welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Sarah, your mother will be staying here with me for a few weeks. We've actually got a lot more in common than I expected. So, I guess this is goodbye for now. I wish the both of you a happy and healthy life together.
I'll never forget this, Aja. Thank you.
Sarah deserves someone special in her life. I'm glad she found you.
It was a wonderful wedding. I was so happy to officiate for you.
Poor souls who couldn't make it in New Atlantis ended up working at the fisheries in Neon.
Yeah, what? Always happy to take your money. Done here? Time to move on. Thanks again for your assistance.
Oh, I can't imagine being forced to spend my days doing menial work in an office like
You've
this,
certainly shaken
instead
things
of
up around
exploring
here.
the stars on the
I
British
still can't
spacecraft.
believe Ularu tried to frame me. An obvious misjudgment on my part. But now that's all in the past. It's time to get back to your typical day-to-day. Of course. If you think anyone here believes in downtime, forget it. And I'd say it's good to be back if I hadn't returned to a mountain of paperwork. Now, since you were new, you've been dealing with people, but most of our assignments are generated on the mission board. The board holds any available assignments that our techs have pieced together, and I've approved. Questions? Good. The mission board is generally self-explanatory anyway. With your promotion, you've earned yourself an office, so whenever you're ready, you can find your own personal mission board inside. And the best perk of them all, you're free to make your own hours. Oh, and congratulations, of course. No, only within the tower. The security risk would be far too much to allow access to that data in a public space. You certainly will. Go check out the board, and if you have any questions, I suppose I can start up an open door policy. Just for you.
Have things for you. Have things for you.
Take it easy.
Just another. Good. Go work another
You're out there alone, right? In space? Just do... Was all a favor never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Hey, what's going on? Ah, parting is such sweet sorrow.
I'm all for getting a little...
Anything I can do for you?
Next time, let's... Try it without the jetpacks. Picked up something you might be interested in.
Keep moving. The scanners won't hurt you. Keep it moving, keep it moving.
Never thought I'd be getting paid to...
One batch. 1 minute starting now.
Valentina needs to cut us a break. She's a real pain in the butt.
Craft. One batch. 1 minute starting now.
You didn't hear from me, but Supervisor Gorov's got her own Aurora deals going on.
Craft. 1 batch. 1 minute starting now.
They don't pay me enough to stick my and some fish guts all day.
Shift complete.
All those years of college? Totally paying off. Nice to see you again. Maybe you'll find something fun. I'm up for doing this again.
Rather be cleaning fish than running with this.
Have a moment.
Gangster.
look like you could use it. Ah, wonderful. Yannick...
Hey there.
I know your type. The freewheeling space ace. Must be light.
Have something for you when you have a moment.
Nothing like a velocity up.
You looking to get zoned?
Makes you forget how bad you stink.
Yeah, you know, dusted, glazed, frosted, high. If you aren't here to buy some Aurora, then what the heck do you want? Yeah? Well, if I had a credit for every time I heard that line, I wouldn't be stuck working in this place. So, I'm guessing you're the rook that Delgado sent. Well, let me save both of us some time. Turn around, fly back to the key, and tell the big boss that I'm in no mood to screw around. We'll make this deal when he starts taking me seriously. Come on, give me a break. You're not exactly a top dog over there at the key, now are you? Sending me a rook to handle a job this risky is a goddamn insult. Specifics, huh? Okay, fine. I spent the last 3 months setting up this job, burned 2 contacts and a hell of a lot of credits. The whole time, I'm also keeping Bayou off our backs. That idiot even catches a whiff of money and he latches onto you like a damn leech.
The few times I've dealt with Benjamin Bayou in the past have been rather unpleasant, to say the least.
Yep, just like a couple of Model A's. Program us, point us in the right direction, and watch us go. I don't have a ton of time to stand here and screw around, so I'm gonna make this as clear as possible. You want the conduction grid tech, then you're gonna have to download it from the power core of Generdyne's facility in the underbelly. Some fancy name the brain-trusted Generdyne calls the room where all the power from the conduction grid is stored. Cute, right? Hey, don't look at me. I didn't build the damn thing. All I know is that the tech inside the place is valuable. Beneath your feet, genius. It's the lowest level of Neon. Generdyne and Xenofresh are down there, along with some of the finest cuisine in the city. I'm talking about Generdyne's main power plant for Neon. All their cushy offices might be up in the trade tower, but the nuts and bolts of their operation are running beneath the city. Love the confidence, but before you pull the ripcord, I'm afraid I need to add a bit of a wrinkle. While you're inside Generdyne, I need you to plant a virus into their system. It's a simple side job that'll earn you some credits. I think you can handle it. The elevator doesn't exactly go to the top floor in that head of yours, does it? Everything in the Crimson Fleet is accomplished through a decent helping of give and take. As in, I'm not going to give you the information to get your precious data unless you take this virus and upload it like I asked. That's because you're planning it for me as a favor. Generdyne has all sorts of tasty, valuable snacks in their databanks, and I want access. Here, take this microdrive and access the computer in Brayson Bayou's office. It'll do the rest on its own. Yep, nepotism has its advantages. Word on the street is that the Generdyne gig is the only one Benjamin could get for his younger brother. Well, he's not the brightest. Let's just say that information can be just as lucrative as selling Aurora and keep it at that, okay? But don't worry, I promised Delgado that when it came to the conduction grid data, that's his territory. I won't touch it. Oh no. Are you scared, little rabbit? Well, don't worry. I've got you covered. Generdyne's got their place locked down tight. But, as usual, the weak link comes from the people that work there. I recommend you start with Ayumi Komiko, an upper-level exec at Generdyne. Get your hands on her security pass, and you'll have the run of the place. You should be asking what won't you need it for. The facility is closed to the general public, and they keep all of their important files encrypted. Not to mention the fact that there's going to be all sorts of nasty security inside you're going to want to bypass. Ryujin Cloud doesn't mean shit at Generdyne. So you're gonna have to deal with Komiko and potentially her boyfriend, Benjamin Bayou. Anyway, you can find Komiko at Euphorica. Talk to the owner of the place, Micah. She'll point you in the right direction. As for dealing with Komiko herself, she's got an office in the trade tower if you're looking for something incriminating. The rest is up to you, Rook. When you're done, come meet me at the VIP booth in the Astral Lounge so we can celebrate. Pretty laid-back club over in Ebbside. Owner's name is Micah. She's young, but sharp as a razor, and has gang muscle to back her up. The little Aurora lounge she has tucked away in the building is the real gold mine. Said she modeled it after opium dens on old Earth. Bayou takes a cut of the profits, of course. The rumor says it's way less than he usually takes. No one knows why. Businesswoman. Tough as hull plating. She's the COO at Generdyne, and I can assure you she didn't get there with her winning smile. As for her relationships, well, that's a bit more complicated. Publicly, she's having a bit of a fling with Benjamin Bayou. But rumor has it that she's just using Bayou and having a little bit of fun on the side with Micah, the owner of Euphorica. If I were you, I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her good nature. She's a manipulative person who uses people to get what she wants. Nepotism gets him the job at Generdyne as their chief technician, yet the guy doesn't know the first thing about electrical engineering. They obviously invented the position just to give them more on a salary. One of the many poorly kept secrets in Neon. Frankly, I think he's such a screw-up. Benjamin Bayou stuck his ass in that facility under the city to keep him out of the limelight. not much to tell, really. Thanks to their nifty little conduction grid, they're able to provide power for the entirety of Neon. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of miracle invention, turning lightning into usable electricity. Neat trick, right? Only catch is that you need a planet like Voli, where lightning strikes often enough to make it feasible. Guess how many of those exist? Ding! If you said 0, you're absolutely correct. So Generdyne has been in dire financial straits for years. It's that hideous canopy over the center of the city that keeps the rich folks dry. Some folks around here call it the span. I think it's a massive eyesore, like some sort of a modern art piece gone haywire. You can't miss it. Just poke your head outside and look up. Loaning them credits? No, that's not how things work around here. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Not a single one. In fact, there are no legal alternatives for anything in this godforsaken city. The only thing people can do is deal with the bullshit and try to get on with their miserable lives. But let's get back to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Generdyne and soaks up all its delicious profit? Aw, and you were doing so well. Let me help you out by giving you the answer. It's good old Benny Bayou. That son of a bitch has a finger in every single pie in this sorry excuse for a city. Generdyne's no different. All off the books, of course. How the hell do you think Grayson Bayou got the job down there? It wasn't because of his good looks or smarts, I can promise you that. Don't let Komiko push you around. She is a mistake. She seems.
Didn't.
They say some sea birds can sing a song only their mates can sing. So they can
Have things for you.
Yeah, what? Is this important? I'm really busy right now. Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring. If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago. See that big yellow thing that's draped over almost the entire city? That's the grid, or what the locals call the span. Besides looking like some sort of madman's modern art piece, it's actually the main source of the city's power. Good. If you were, you'd be the 12th person I've turned away this year. What a waste. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you, but I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here. Because I'm sick and tired of putting on a corporate face and pretending that nothing's wrong. It's do or die time around here. We can either spin our wheels forever or worse, go under completely. I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm happy to get this off my chest. The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division. Unfortunately, no. I'm in third on the corporate ladder. One step above me is Ayumi Komiko. She's the COO of the company. And then there's Kaito Harada, our esteemed CEO who never seems to be around. No, of course not. We still produce smaller power systems and backup generators, but nothing even close to the magnitude of the conduction grid. Genodyne needs to come out with something spectacular to put us back on the map. If not, we'll remain stagnant forever, or worse. You'd think that, right? The problem is that Brayson Bayou, Administrator Bayou's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology. I can give you 117 reasons. Our employees. If Genodyne goes completely under, how many of them will lose their jobs? How many might get cut in a restructure? My position puts me in charge of the welfare of our personnel. I can't in good conscience allow that to happen to them. Isn't it obvious? Administrator Bayou clearly leaned on Ms. Komiko to get his brother hired. It's nepotism in action. None whatsoever. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayou, but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do? It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayou is running the Research and Development Division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Genodyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayou might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective. You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time. If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask. That's an excellent question, and the answer for it is surprisingly simple. The conduction grid is only effective in lightning-rich environments. That's why Volai was chosen as its primary development site. Genodyne has always hoped to adapt the grid's absorption technology for other applications, but nothing public has ever been announced. The span above the city is outfitted with a specially developed electromagnetic absorption system. When a lightning discharge hits the span, the energy is instantly distributed across the grid to prevent overload. The energy is then transferred through a series of polyphasic capacitors and rectifiers to ensure all of the negative and positive strikes are equalized. At this point, the energy is clean, and it gets stored in massive storage cells in Neon's underbelly, from which it's parceled out and used for power. Genodyne was founded in 2232 by the original designer of the conduction grid, Felicia Corbin. Working from her facility in Neon, it took her almost 25 years to get the conduction grid up and running. That was Genodyne's first and last major success. As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble, ask away. Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this. You're starting to make a lot of sense. I'd like to think so. Okay, listen. You didn't hear this from me, but I know she's up to something with Benjamin Bayou. He was in her office a few weeks ago, and they had some kind of shouting match. It got really heated until Bayou stormed out the door. I don't know what it was about, but I happen to know Miss Komiko keeps audio recordings of all her meetings in her safe. And before you ask, yes, I'll unlock it for you. Just don't tell anyone I helped, okay? I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think. She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down. Because I'm sick and tired of the corruption that's running through this city. People around here spend half their lives terrified about being backstabbed, and spend the rest of it planning on how they're going to screw over someone else. Something rotten is going on in this company, and one day, I hope to find out what it is. Sure, no problem. Hope to see you again soon.
Can't talk. I've got a deadline coming up.
You don't need to wear your helmet in here. You know that, right?
Alright, Ben. What was so important I had to come to the office in the middle of the night?
It's the numbers, Ayumi. I don't like what I'm seeing.
If you'd stop interfering with my company, the numbers would be better.
Your company? That's funny. I thought it belonged to Mr. Harada.
Give me a break. We both know you set up that identity so we could both reap the profits off the books.
If Genodyne was showing a profit, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
How the hell am I supposed to make a profit when all I have is your brother, the idiot, as my chief technician?
I'd choose your next words very carefully, Miss Komiko. Raise the utility costs to your clients, cut some staff, I don't care how you do it. I want Generdyne's...
Hold it right there! You're under arrest! You know,
Picked up something. And you might be interested.
The way things are looking at Generdyne, might be time to
Thief! All right, Ben. What was so important I had to come to the office in the middle of the night?
It's the numbers, Ayumi. I don't like what I'm seeing.
If you'd stop interfering with my company, the numbers would be better.
Your company? That's funny. I thought it belonged to Mr. Harada.
Give me a break. We both know you set up that identity so we could both reap the profits off the books.
If Generdyne was showing a profit, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
How the hell am I supposed to make a profit when all I have is your brother, the idiot, as my chief technician?
I'd choose your next words very carefully, Miss Komiko.
Have things for you.
Raise the utility costs to your clients, cut some staff, I don't care how you do it. I want Generdyne's profits soaring by the end of the month. And if I ever hear you talking about Brayson like that again, well, I'm sure you can imagine the consequences.
working so well. I'd rather not.
Your credits work for you.
Don't make me jump.
Show no mercy. Leave no court.
Looks like you need to relax.
If you're planning on using Aurora, we respectfully ask you do so in the members. You people should leave her alone. What do you want with her? Not that it's any of your business, but we're very close. We're in love. I refuse to let anything bad happen to her, no matter how much trouble she's gotten herself into. Yeah, sure. Tell me another one. You debt collectors are low-life assholes. She's broke, okay? Now get out of my club before I get really pissed off and have you thrown into the street.
No, really. I'd like to see you try.
The Crimson Fleet? Oh my, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't mean anything by it, really. Sorry, I just... Well, I worry about her. Ayumi owes a lot of money around town. I'm trying to help her out, but, you know, I have a business to keep afloat. If you want to talk to her, you can find her in the members' lounge. You already have access, so you should know the way. Don't forget to ask Q to see us. Special menu.
I like coming here. It lets me forget everything else for a bit.
Yeah. What do you want? Before you continue, let me save you some time. If you're having a problem with your POW or complain about your rates, you need to contact our customer service department. Anything else? You must be zoned out of your mind, because there's no way anyone sober would say something like that. How the hell did you find that? It was Estelle Vincent, wasn't it? That bitch. I knew I should have kept that somewhere else. Here, take this pass. It should get you through the storage room entry to the facility. I'm warning you though, once you're inside, you're trespassing in a high-security zone. That means they shoot on sight. Good luck. You're going to need it. I suppose if I don't explain, a copy of that recording you found might end up on the next SSNN report. Okay, fair enough. A few years back, the previous CEO of Generdyne went missing. As the COO, I was next in line for the job. Instead, Bayu muscled his way into the company and gave me an ultimatum. Either back up his bullshit Mr. Harada identity, or I'm gone. I had no choice. But I decided right then and there, I was going to do whatever I could to take what was rightfully mine. If that meant seducing Bayu to tip him off balance, then so be it. Luckily for me, Mike has been incredibly understanding about the whole thing. What do you think happened? Bayu started sticking his nose into Generdyne's business, all but outright demanding a cut of the profits. In response, the CEO made a huge mistake by threatening to take his grievances to the FC. His shuttle never arrived. Need I say more? No, we're polar opposites, but we share a unique bond. Micah is the only person in this godforsaken city that's kept me from going completely under. She doesn't want money, doesn't use me for influence or as a stepping stone to get ahead. She loves me for being me, and I love her for being the same. And when this stupid bullshit is over, and Bayu is 10 fathoms deep under Neon, we'll be there for each other. Forever. If you had to work with Grayson Bayu, you'd understand. The man is still a totally incompetent fool, and he's running our company into the ground. The worst part of it is that he's Administrator Bayu's brother, so I can't fire him. I can't reassign him. I can't even yell at him.
It's like having a cut on your body and you're helplessly watching yourself bleed to death. Except in our case, we're hemorrhaging money. What is this? A job interview? I'm the COO of the company, second to the top, right under our esteemed CEO, Mr. Harada, also known as Benjamin Bayou. So when you ask me what I do for Generdyne, the answer is nothing. The Bayous run the show, and I tread water. The salary helps, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm just a joke. Sitting in an office to make things look legitimate. Keeps them off the Freestar Collective's radar. They might actually step in if they discover that the same person controlling the city's regulations and bylaws benefits financially from them. If you haven't figured it out by now, Benjamin has a stranglehold on the city. You can't take a piss without him charging you after flush. Try and get in his way, and then he uses Neon security to beat you senseless, or the Sioga Syndicate to make you disappear. Remember, we never talked. Got it?
Howdy.
You good?
Yeah, I know this place.
Keep your nose clean.
A moment. Must be a lot of valuable tech disappearing from Generdyne to justify all the scrutiny of their own employees. Got another one! Got any weapons or ammo?
way to be.
Switching to a new target.
Please, don't shoot. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it. There's no need for all this violence. When you access the computer in the power core, it sends a notification to be here. I knew you were coming, I just didn't know when. No catch. I'm not trying to trick you. You want the cipher? It's yours. At this point, I'd do anything to get back at my brother. He deserves everything he's got coming to him. Oh, don't patronize me. I know I'm no prize winner myself, but at least I don't spend my days trying to screw everyone over. You know, I've spent my entire life living in Ben's shadow. Everything always works out for him, while I've been bouncing from one job to the next, barely keeping afloat. And all the while, he laughs at me behind my back. Thinks it's hilarious to make fun of his stupid brother. Like I wouldn't eventually find out.
Tyrants like your brother eventually fall. It's inevitable. Perhaps you should just give it some time.
One advantage to being perceived as stupid is that no one takes you seriously. When I walk into a party, I'm instantly the resident social pariah. But my eyes and ears are wide open. I can't tell you the number of times I've overheard that my brother has spread amusing anecdotes about his stupid brother. That wouldn't do any good. For every scheme he's gotten himself into, he has a bulletproof exit strategy. The man's virtually immortal.
Ugh, that's true. He's a slippery man who can worm his way out of any legal situation.
You know what? I am sick to death of being pushed around. It's my turn to take control for once. The passcode for my terminal is GEN-41A18. That should give you access to the cipher and whatever else you need. I'm getting out of here while I still can. After you're done, I suggest you do the same. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, I'm at about, I don't know, a -8. I don't have the background for this electrical engineering stuff. Chief technician? It's ridiculous. Ben stuck me down here expecting me to work miracles. He didn't stop for even a second to think of the repercussions. That's so typical. All I need is one breakthrough. One. And I could shove this job right in his face. Damn, that would feel good. Easy for you to say. All my finances are tied into the family fortune. But Ben graciously allows me a monthly stipend. Besides, what I'd really love to do is prove myself by coming up with something amazing, rather than running away. Oh well, I'll think of something. Eventually. All I have is what? The rest of my life? As usual, you can thank my dear brother for that. At first, he made me deputy administrator. That went well, until I wouldn't cooperate with Owen Dexler and all of his thugs at Neon Security. Then, he had me work with Valentina over at Xenofresh, helping with Aurora distribution, until she pinned a credit skimming scam on me. And now, here I am, chief technician at Generdyne, when I don't even know the first thing about electrical engineering. Because he's a two-faced son of a bitch, that's why. It's not like I should be surprised. When we were younger, we never got along very well. I mean, he's 11 years older than I am. We had two different mothers. Might as well have been from two separate families. That's an understatement. I never knew my actual mother. She was my father's mistress, and I was told she vanished from Neon when I was only 2 years old. Ben's mother, she didn't give a crap about me. Wouldn't even let me call her Mom. I just had to call her Liliana. Can you imagine? And then there's Dad. So buried in the day-to-day operations of Neon, he didn't have time to pay attention to his bastard son. Yeah, everyone's sorry. Just as sorry as I am. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's nice to get this off my chest, but talking about it isn't gonna change a thing. That's why I gave you the encryption cipher. Anything I can do to stick it to Ben, that's the real therapy. Feels good to be in control for a change.
Picked up something you might be interested in.
Ah, there you are. What kept you? I believe we have a lot to discuss. It's obvious you're here to meet someone. Fortunately for them, they rented this VIP room under a false name. I assume that same someone provided you with that clever little virus you installed into Generdyne's systems. Well, yes. You didn't think your little foray into Generdyne would go completely undetected, did you? All too well. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is quite impressive. It will cost me tens of thousands of credits to remove. That's the last time I'll ever take the Crimson Fleet's capabilities for granted. Because, like the majority of revenue-generating businesses in the city, I have a vested interest in Generdyne's profits. But more importantly than simply losing money, I don't like anything in my city being interfered with without my approval. Probably. But do you want to know why that's not going to happen? It's because I don't negotiate with pirates. They don't understand commitments or contracts. How to get the deal done with finesse. No. For your kind, it's only brute force and violence. Shoot first, take whatever you want, and ask questions later. That's not how I do business. It may seem that way, but for every rival I've had thrown into the ocean, I've made 2 times as many legitimate deals. Look, I'm not here to debate. I'm here to make an offer. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
You make my skin crawl, Bayou.
You don't have to worry about that in the least. You point me to our little mole, and I'll do the rest. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. Really? That's the story you're going with. Very well. There's a body that Neon Security is going to be discovering very soon. One with concrete evidence that links you to the murder. I'd say you have about 1 hour to leave this place before you have a price on your head.
You'd have someone killed to pin the crime on us. Oh, you're a wretched excuse for a human being, Bayou.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards.
Glad you're back. Sorry about the whole Benjamin Bayou thing at the Astral Lounge, but I didn't have much of a choice. Can you believe the nerve of that smug son of a bitch? The man is priceless. Well, I was hoping we'd celebrate your return with some drinks and a pile of Aurora. I was about to start partying early when Boone Morgan tipped me off that Bayou was on his way down with some neon security goons. I'm pretty sure I missed him by less than a minute. Left a ton of good stuff behind, damn it. You're not the least bit concerned that he found the virus and figured out where we were meeting that quickly. Must be nice to be so naive. Well, I'm glad someone's happy. Since Bayou flagged the virus, I can't risk accessing the system now. All that work I did trying to crack Generdyne is gone. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. The prep work for this job put me in deep for a bunch of cash, and I have no way to pay it all back. Well, a business partner of mine named Nix was the author of the virus. Don't know if you know him or not. Then there's the folks I paid to keep an eye on Ayumi Komiko, a few of the guards at Generdyne. Like I said, it was a huge job. Honestly, I shouldn't be revealing my sources because that puts you on their radar as well. But hey, you asked. That's pretty cool of you to offer, but I know what he's gonna say.
Sorry, Estelle. This was your scheme. You're on your own.
Believe me, he's not gonna be much help. Look, I was hoping you'd pick up on what I was trying to ask. What the hell with it? I'll just ask. Can you cut me in for a little bit of cash you're making on this job? I mean, I did get you inside and practically hand you the data on the grid.
She's right, you know. Without her help, you never would have found your way into Generdyne.
I appreciate that. I really do. Having each other's back is what makes the fleet stronger, you know? How much are you willing to part with? Well, it's a bit less than I was hoping for, but thanks all the same. At least you gave a crap enough to cut me in at all.
That was a bit less than I was expecting as well, but at least you've gained something for your efforts.
All right, I guess we're done here. Tell Delgado if he ever needs me for anything else. I've still got his back. And hey, you won't be hearing Rook from me anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of us now. Lifeblood of the fleet. If anyone tries to tell you otherwise, you send them to talk to me. Completely ruined? Nah. I was hoping it would stay on Generdyne's mainframe for the long term, but hey, at least it's already fed me a huge amount of data. Nix really knows what he's doing, though he charged me about 6 months' worth of earnings. With any luck, I'll be able to recoup my costs in no time. I hear things are heating up back at the Key, so I might fire up my bird and head over to check things out. Rumor has it that Delgado has some solid info on the Crix's legacy story he's been hawking for the last few years. If there's even a chance that it's true, I want to be there when Shinya Voss starts splitting the loot, if you catch my meaning. Now, how did I know you were going to ask me that? Honestly, Doesn't matter if I believe that Crix's legacy exists or not. What's important is that I believe in Delgado. If the man thinks that chasing shadows is gonna make us rich, then who the hell am I to judge, right? I mean, I'm not gonna jump off a cliff for him or anything, but hey, he needs an extra ship at his side, he's got it. Just watch your ass. Benny isn't exactly gonna be tickled that you've been talking to his brother.
I picked.
Oh.
Grand jump successful. Just like your wants.
Hey, how are you?
That. That's something you might be interested in.
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible. Hooray! You got the conduction gizmo. You did exactly what we asked you to do. Good work, pat on the head. Are you ignoring me or something? I just said there's an emergency. Oh, it's bad. Real bad. Delgado will fill you in with the details. Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!
You see Sys-Def as a jerk. They haven't run us.
Visiting with the Crimson Fleet, eh? Always a pleasure.
And you are sure we will have those defense batteries up and running?
No, I'm not sure. They're in bad shape, Del. Really bad shape. I'm already using duct tape and spit to keep the station from falling apart, and you want me to pull a rabbit out of my hat?
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear that it's going to be fixed. Period. Get it done.
All right, I'm on it.
You want to quit standing there and hand over the conduction grid data?
Nothing you need to worry about.
Stay in your own space lane and let Jazz do her damn job. Now, do you have what we sent you to Neon for, or not?
Ah, perfect. I'll take that.
Dependable as always. Unlike some people we know.
Oh, that's real funny.
All right, listen up because I don't want to repeat this twice. We've gotten word that UC Sistef is massing somewhere nearby for an attack on the key. While we prepare for their arrival, I want you to head straight for Bannock 4 and bring Crix's legacy home. I have a very reliable source at Mast. They were so concerned that the threat was real, they actually jumped the information out to us right away. Oh my god. Haven't you been paying attention? The only reason half the fleet's captains haven't scattered across the settled systems is because they're waiting for their part of the score. No money means no protection. No protection means we are done when Sistef arrives. Simple enough for you? Just slow down and listen before you jump the gun and ruin everything. Lay it out, Jess.
All right, first things first. I'm gonna upload this data you snagged from Generdyne into the Key's databanks. All you need to do is build and then install a conduction grid module onto your ship. Oh, and if you haven't already, you'll need the CommSpike module installed as well.
While we're at it, perhaps we should fetch your groceries for you as well?
Once your ship is ready, jump out to Bannock 4, board the Legacy, and bring us the cash. Everything you'll need for ship repair and construction is down in Jass's section of the Key. If you have any questions about the modules, she'll have all the answers. You better pray that isn't the case, because that means we are done. As in, no more Crimson Fleet. Nothing around here is simple.
Dell's right. You have to follow these steps carefully, or don't bother coming back. After you board the Legacy, be on the lookout for 2 transfer modules. They're special keys that allow access to the ship's vault. Once you locate the vault's control center, hook up the data core I'm gonna give you, and download everything they've got.
And before you get any bright ideas, like running off with the money, that currency is going to be heavily encrypted. Only a genius like Shinya will be able to crack that encryption, so bring it back here right away. Because those Galbank ships were carrying so much money, they didn't even trust their own crew. That would be a first. I have yet to see encrypted currency that Shinya could not manipulate within hours. I mean, the guy plugs his body directly into his mainframe. He eats, breathes, and shits numbers all day. No, I'm not worried about him. Yeah? I sure hope so. Look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you. If that money ends up anywhere but the Key, I will hunt you down and pry it out of your dead hands myself. Now get moving. The Crimson Fleet isn't really a fleet. It's an ideal. A principle that Crix sought to set up so that pirates didn't infight over scraps. Over time, that notion has been lost. Captains have been turning their backs on the fleet, doing jobs on the side, killing each other. Bringing Crix's legacy back to the fleet would be like validating everything Jasper Crix believed in. And I'm certain it would unify us once again. Of course, It wouldn't exactly hurt to have all that extra money at our disposal. But I think you catch my meaning. You've met some of them already. Mathis Castillo, Yevgeny Rokov, Juan Dayu, Estelle Vincent, and Adler Kemp. They might feel like independents to you, but each one of them has a stake in the Crimson Fleet, and each one of them wants a cut of the wealth. I am sending word out to every able-bodied captain that they are needed. We'll see how many answer the call. The toughest nut to crack is if UC Sistef brings in the Vigilance. That Commander Ikande has himself a hell of a ship there. Advanced shield tech, bristling with weapons. I would love to see that thing burn. If we hope to stand a chance against it, we need those defensive batteries, and Krix's legacy. Now get your ass to Bannock 4.
I need to get those defensive batteries online, so make this fast. The comm spike traces and decrypts coded signals. As long as you have the transponder ID, you can track pretty much anything. That file you lifted from the Galbank archives contained the Legacy's transponder code, which I'll program into your nav system. All you have to do is get within the vicinity of Bannock 4, and the comm spike will automatically point you to the target. Cute toy, huh? Well, you already know that the conduction grid does a pretty nifty trick. It absorbs extreme voltage and converts it to usable power on Neon. The version for your ship can still absorb incoming electrical energy, like, say, the EM field surrounding Bannock 4, but it can't store the power. Instead, it just scatters the EM harmlessly away from the hull, insulating you from frying every circuit aboard. As a nice side effect, I'm betting the module will make your ship somewhat EM weapon resistant and boost its shield regen. Lucky you. There are 3 defensive batteries, basically high-powered military space turrets, triangulated around the key. They were part of the UC's original defenses for the station. Pretty effective, too. Can put some serious hurt on enemy spacecraft. The good news is that the batteries have an incredibly wide field of coverage, so they can pick off ships trying to reach the key from any vector. The bad news is that they're 100-year-old tech. They keep breaking down and are expensive as hell to keep operational. Not a problem. Conduction grid data is all set up in the system, so should be an easy install. Sounds like fun. Let's see what I've got.
Ready to lift off?
I haven't seen my family in a while.
All support ships have arrived. Commander.
Good. After we're done here, arrange it briefly. I want all of their CEOs over here as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
You doing all right? Feels like we
Anything
got
new
maybe
to
one more
report?
calm before the storm.
Even as long ago as the Narian War, Galbank used an extremely potent level of encryption on their currency. Unfortunately, the unlocked ciphers are lost to time. However, if you can bring us one of Galbank's old transfer modules, I know it would help. Don't worry, I'm sure some of the techs at MAST will be able to work with whatever you bring to reverse the encryption. Anything you can tell us would be helpful. Yeah, I heard they even sent word to some of the contacts you met. They're writing an awful lot of checks they can't cover without Crix's legacy, but we'll be ready for them. Anything else? Damn it. I was afraid of that. I'll warn our ships to use looser formations. Hopefully Durand isn't as clever as she thinks she is, or you can help us take the batteries down when the attack begins. Was that all? Okay, well, if anything else springs to mind before you leave, please let me know. Nice work. Let me take a look. Benjamin Bayou, pride of the Free Star Collective. The authorities there have been trying to nail him for a long time. Bringing us proof that he's been manipulating Generdyne from the shadows is pretty tasty stuff. The FC will pay dearly for this. Good job. Find anything else? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. Let me know if you need anything else.
There you are. Where have you been? I've received the reports about that stunt you pulled inside of Generdyne. Opening fire inside a civilian facility. Are you out of your mind?
Generdyne is furious at us right now. They want Commander Reconde to resign.
I should make you say that to the families of the innocents you murdered. People have died because you were too stubborn to find a safer solution. This is not how you see SysDev operates. I don't care if we're one step away from Crix's legacy. If you do it again, you're off this operation, and I'll have Top throw you in the brig.
It'll be my pleasure, sir.
All right. I think we're all in agreement here. So let's get back to the operation at hand. It's time to put all the cards on the table and prepare to attack the key. Thanks to your evidence, we were finally able to convince them to task us the necessary resources. Before you jump to Bannock 4, I need to make one thing abundantly clear. The credits from that Galbank transport cannot reach the fleet. You have to bring them here at all costs. If Delgado gains access to those resources, we might be touching off a battle we can't possibly win.
We've been monitoring the Crimson Fleet's comm chatter in the Crick system. They're gathering allies by making promises based on your success.
As much as I hate to admit it, UC SysDef won't stand a chance. The fleet will become stronger and more unified than ever.
Perhaps the UC should have thought of these potential consequences before incarcerating those people on Suvorov.
Perhaps. But instead of spending time debating our predecessors' mistakes, we should be working towards a rapid solution. I've always known that when it came down to it, you'd do the right thing. All right, I guess this is it. Do whatever prep you need to do aboard the Vigilance, and then head out to Bannock 4. When you return here with Crix's legacy, we'll begin the attack. Good luck. Our directive is simple. We are tasked with the eradication of space piracy in the settled systems. As the chief source of pirate activity, the Crimson Fleet is our primary target. Please, proceed with your report. The evidence you've been bringing to Lieutenant Toft has been instrumental in convincing the brass at Mast to greenlight the attack. They've sent us support ships, extra troops, weapons. All on account of your role in the operation. To put it simply, if it wasn't for you, this operation would be at a standstill. During the end of the Narion War, the money was destined to bolster the Freestar Collective's coffers. Even though we were rivals at the time, and I suppose we still are to some extent, the credits still rightfully belong to their people. After the money is turned over to Mast, I'm certain arrangements will be made to return the money to the proper authorities in Aquila City. It's time to dig deep and get the job done.
Nice work on the siren. You keep this up,